This week in the League of Legends, we have Taliyah, the bird in the branch. We have our review of Taric. We have some information about the Invitational for the tournament scene, and of course, some discounts for the Rune that we're so happy to talk about. All this and more on the Spastic Gaming web show.
This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis, and we are here today to talk about the League of Legends. This is an ongoing show where we talk a little bit about everyone's favorite mobile-style battle game.
A little late this week, but good news is we have a champion preview for Taliyah, which we have a large amount of lore that we're still picking through, so we're not sure what's going to be story and what's going to be, hints towards the actual character.
Yeah, this seems to be kind of interesting. She interacts with a couple of characters. Yasuo is one of the bigger ones, but they make a point to say that she's sort of foreign. She doesn't know a lot about anything other than where she's from. She makes notes of, Noxians and Freylord folks, and she's not incredibly familiar with those territories. So we might be looking at sort of a younger character or someone who is from a different area. So could be interesting, but we'll have to see.
What's really interesting is some of the art seen on her preview page depicts a lot of, not organic, but very magically created earth fixtures. The little info we have on the character herself, she has, these stone wings kind of popping out of her. She's, riding across earthbending style, these, structures and stuff. And then there's Yasuo, who I'm assuming would be the bird to the branch, kind of sitting there being all, I'm a lone wanderer. I'm not going to look at her, but I'm going to look
drunk. At her. But yeah, she's from Shurima, and we'll obviously see some interactions maybe with Azir and Susan and Renekton, and who knows, maybe even Sivir, Cassiopeia, and if we're lucky, Xerath.
Yes, what I want to see out of her is definitely we don't have a character that's very bright-eyed, worldly traveled, but she's just so excited to see everything. I know we have Nami, which is just I don't understand anything on land, and I'm here to defend my people, but I want someone that's, genuinely excited in it. As you're playing her, she's like, oh, what's that? Is that the water dragon? Or, ooh, I can
You're talking about
that.
Poppy?
Poppy's more or less now dedicated to finding the owner of the hammer. She kind of has that, but she's got a set goal. This girl is kind of like the Terra of Teen Titans, where she's not used to this new world. She's always a drifter.
She seems a little gruff and tumble from what I've read.
Definitely, I'll have to see when they actually put her out. But everybody reads stuff with different inflections and all that fun stuff.
Indeed. So we'll have a breakdown of her abilities when they come out, probably the week after. So you guys can look forward to that. In the meantime, as promised, we are going to go over
Taric,
the Gem Lord.
Oh my god!
Isn't he like the shield of
shield
what's it called?
Valorant.
So he's your guy. Why don't you go first?
I love him. He's definitely an upgrade kit of Taric. He still feels good. The first time I picked him up, he still felt like a good support, very tanky. I love the fact that you have to kind of synergize with another character and kind of keep an eye on them, as well as using your spells on yourself. The one thing I didn't get used to was having the secondary ability, or the primary ability of the shield, giving the actual shield bonus based on your armor. I was mainly focused on using the connection to heal and get the stuns off. So I kind of forgot I had that extra kind of bonus to kind of give the shield out to people. Mainly because I was I want to stay on this character because positioning is better. His ultimate is very hard to time, but when you get a successful ultimate during a team fight where there's just that 2.5 seconds of, oh, hey, we're not dealing any damage to him, let's kind of retreat, it's enough time for the enemy team to start kind of retreating, and you all right, the tables have turned. And his stun is fantastic. I love the fact that once the stun is activated, if you're stunned by a Sejuani, I figured this out, or an Amamu, or anything that would stop most casts, the stun will still go off. So if you time it right, an engage happens, you can time it and still have a direct stuns and kind of keep that kind of momentum going even while you're incapacitated, which is fantastic.
So I've had kind of the opposite reaction. I like him. I think he's cool, but here's my problem, right? They took one of the easiest supports to play and they made him into one of the most intricate and difficult. And so most of the issues I've had with Taric has just come down to player error.
Mm,
I'm a big time support player, and I'm all about playing zoning supports like Blitzcrank and Zillion and Leona.
right.
And the thing that I've noticed about Taric is he lacks an engage like really badly. So
Yeah, he's more of a passive support like you would have like shoot, I'm trying to think. Like a Nautilus, where yeah, you have your ultimate that can, do the knockup, but most of his stuff are kind of passive reactionary stuff.
yeah, and
And
I don't like that.
that's more my playstyle.
Before when you fired off a dazzle, like you got that, like that was like, all right, let's get him. Now it's like I have to run at him and maneuver and then get this set up, and even if I do land the stun, like what's my follow up? So I just feel like he lacks a lot to do in the lane phase, especially if you're fighting another supportive support. Like
Right.
if you're a Taric and you're against a Jaina, like what are you gonna do? Or I'm sorry, a Janna rather. Like nothing's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So
you definitely have to pair it with the right kind of AD carry too. I think a lot of characters with dashes or any kind of movability bonuses will benefit from Taric more so than a Caitlyn or a Jinx or something that kind of is more about facing forward instead of movability. I've been paired against like with Vaynes and Lucians, and once they figured out how my stun worked and I kind of pinged, they would know right away to kind of use their rolls or use their dodges to kind of line up that stun for that initiation,
yeah,
which is
and
super cool.
that I like that. Like I feel like with like a Graves or a Lucy or a Vayne, like you were saying before, it'd be really cool. Or even like a Corki, for example, like a brawler Sheen Rush Corki that just
Uh,
sort of gets in there and bursts.
Callista
But
is definitely another one that was just like, oh, that's a cool combo. Just dash on
mhm.
in.
But again, I almost feel like in that case, you might as well have like a Nautilus support or
Right.
like a Thresh because there's a lot more follow through to what happens. Like I feel like the stun with sort of the brawler style is almost out of place with the rest of his kit. Like it almost feels like a disengage tool rather than an engagement tool. But
I don't know. I think
uh,
it's just different play styles kind of interacting with this because you definitely play a lot different than I do when we both would play together. When I would be AD carry and you'd be support, we were more aggressive, and then I was more defensive and waiting for the right time to kind of strike.
yeah, but I just feel like he lacks follow up. Whereas before, he'd land that stun, he'd do his two AoEs, and you'd get the pain train rolling. Now it's just sort of like shield, heal, invulnerability. Oh, and then there's a line stun here that has two auto attack follow ups. You're
He's
like,
definitely a
what?
late game kind of support for stability in late game team fights. He's not very good at ambushing and kind of setting up the kill early game.
So to be honest, I feel like his strength's kind of all over the place. And again, a lot of this may be chalked up to player error and not quite knowing how, because it's a hard kit to use.
Yeah.
Because you're balancing a lot of hats, and a lot of these abilities have delays, and you gotta wait on charges, and your shield has a cooldown, and it's just like, what do I do? So overall, I think when players get more accustomed to it, I think he's gonna do better. But I think people are gonna pick other supports over him. I just don't think he's that good.
So the question is now, how do you like the visual update to him? Because I know we kind of
Oh,
joked
I think
about it
it's
and stuff.
cute. Really, I mean, this is all about the diversity of character archetypes, and this is perfect. So
Yeah, I definitely when I saw his final reveal and how he was going to act and how he sounded, I was so excited because I'm like, this is the first time that a champion rework has improved the concept of the character instead of changing it and twisting it. Because when we saw Scion go from an Arnold Schwarzenegger references, very depressing, brutal kind of character.
I like the
Don't get me
Scion
wrong,
though.
I liked it too, but it was definitely different than the original concept. Poppy again, she was not a diplomat. She's now more of like, I gotta find the hero. I gotta go do this. Karma, they had to totally rework her because she was super boring. But with Taric, it's just like, all right, let's add to him. We can't really do this storyline. There's not much to go with. Why don't we make him a that was a commander in the Demacian army? He wasn't there in his troops' time of need. He was exiled, but he still has respect for the troops. And he goes to redeem himself, and in turn, he gets the celestial powers from Mount Targon and becomes something more than he was originally. That's super cool, and he's still fabulous doing it.
So overall, I'm gonna give the new Taric probably a 6. I just gameplay wise, I think he's really fallen flat. His kit's just all over the place for me, and his usability has really gone down in my book. Aesthetically, he's cool. The mechanics are kind of interesting, but again, I feel like they're just not focused enough for him to excel as a support, which is why I'm giving him such a low rating. The artwork and all that was neat, but it wasn't that neat for me.
I'm going to give him an 8. I've had a blast playing him. I've kind of switched over to him from my normal supports that I usually play in random queues. And I find him very enjoyable to play, but that kind of matches my play style a little bit more than others out there. And once you can get some good combinations off with his stun and his heals and stuff like that, it is very satisfying.
All right. Well, we're going to move right and truly along to the Invitational.
Yes, so the Invitational this year, it's going to be May 5th, and they're doing a bunch of stuff. There's going to be a new Summer's Rift icon in the center, in mid lane. They usually change that up when a special event happens. There's going to be 7 icons for this year, different colors, different logos, depending North America, Europe. You'll be able to purchase them for 1 IP, and if you want a region that you're not in, you can purchase any of the other ones for 250 IP. The icons themselves look really cool. Definitely different colors, different logos depending on North America and EU, and a bunch of other really cool kind of smaller changes for the event itself. Yeah, there's nothing really else going on. They're going to have the esports bundles like every year. You can get the mega bundle with all the skins for every champion skin dedicated to esports, or you can just go depending on team. And I think this year they might be introducing the new SK1s that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang.
Ones that they hate?
The what? The one with the hat?
The one that they hated?
Oh, God, I forgot that they're like, I think they can be better. It's just like, shut up.
Oh, God. And the last bit of news, actually, is them discounting Tier 2 runes. They recently had a sale on Tier 2 runes, and I think this is just a continuation of that sort of train of thought, is that nobody wants to buy Tier 2 runes. Nobody does.
Right.
Just get rid of them. Just get rid of them.
Well,
but they don't.
What they're doing is they're getting rid of Tier 1 runes, reducing the cost of all Tier 2 runes to 1 IP, and they're going to be accessible to level 1. So essentially we got T1 runes, which is everything up to level 30, and then to level 30.
Yeah. I don't know. To me, it's just you might as since you unlock rune slots as you progress, you might as well give us
T3.
Yeah. Because I mean, they can't do rune combiner now.
No, I think the rune system definitely needs an overhaul, and I think they should have done that this season or at the end of the season. Something drastic enough to really give players that flexibility and another IP dump that isn't just, all right, I've got all the runes I need. I don't have to worry about them ever again.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. There's a lot they should do. This is a start in the right direction, but they need more follow through in my book.
Yeah. Honestly, runes haven't been a big importance to me. I hop on and I have like all the runes I need. It's like, all right, I'm playing tank character. Here's these runes. All right, I'm playing them in AP. Just like every now and again, when I pick up a new character that definitely has a unique kit to him, like someone that doesn't use mana, yeah, I'll have to go out and buy runes that complement it. But it's just like I'd rather just save it for a champion, which is
I think I've spent more money on rune pages than runes.
Yeah, it's an outdated system and definitely needs to be looked at.
Indeed.
Some other news, we have some new merchandise coming onto the market. They added a new version of the Earth little bust that you can get for $30 and a free random figure from Series 1 along with it. I got it. I got a Misfortune with it as well. It's super tiny. It's just like Jinx where it doesn't have that plastic base to it, and I think they're going to kind of move towards smaller bases than the huge plastic ones.
Wait, hold on. Are you implying that they're going to drop the base?
I'm so glad we're not in the same room right now. I would totally slap you.
But
yeah, it sounds like they're getting ready to introduce the second series of figures. The first season ended, or series, I keep calling it season. First series ended with Jinx coming out, the Firecracker Jinx, and then now Earth, and we'll probably see some other ones. I hopefully see more skins. I'd like to have like maybe Taric, some new champion updates. I hope they update Gangplank to have the new character model with like his robo arm. But
There you go. They might. I mean, they like merchandise.
yeah, I wish that they would, get more of the lesser known characters. Zereth would be awesome, but I don't think they can make it stupid and chibi like that. Just
Yeah.
just him in his coffin with the chains around it. Perfect. Done. I would
It's
buy
like
it. Chains of my dreams.
no.
Lights up. Fools.
It just rattles back and forth as he tries to get out. Perfect.
Help me! Help me!
And that's really it for official news this week, guys. We didn't get any questions this week, unfortunately. As you well know, we usually take 1 or 2 questions at the end of each show every week, but if we don't get one, it's kind of hard for us. If you guys would do us a favor and drop a question in the comment section below, it can be about anything, really. League of Legends, gaming in general, the show, what's coming for the channel, about our personal lives, really, just anything. Just throw it down there in the comment section, send it to our email, it's bestinggaming@gmail.com, or post it on the Facebook, Twitter, or website, all of which are linked in the information down below. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/fastgaming. You can donate to that to get access to exclusive content, bonus features, and all kinds of other features which you can find at that link there.
So it sounds like we're going to be changing up some of the higher tier rewards due to the fact that we haven't gotten a Twitch up or any of the voting systems. We are kind of tossing around some few ideas for rewards. So keep an eye out if you're interested in, backing. Give it some time. Definitely will get you some cool new rewards for supporting the show.
Indeed. Well, this has been Axis.
And Water Elemental.
And
How's Dark Souls?
it's fun. Yeah, it's not as hard as I was expecting. But it's different. I wish they brought back power stances and offhand attacks. Well, certain kinds of offhand attacks. I have to go now. Here, let me pretend to walk out of the room.
Oh no, don't shut my door. Due to the